Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Marissa Explains It All. So today I am explaining what in the world to do with your porch after Christmas. So I don't know if you're like me, but after Christmas I take everything down. I mean, like, granted, a little bit late. I usually don't take it down till like mid-January, but once I get everything down, it looks so bare. And so I took a little video of my porch and look at this mess. Look how sad it looks. And so I was thinking to myself, okay, well, what do people do for after Christmas, you know? And so I started looking for ideas and I came up with some things that were just a little wintry, but not, you know, Christmassy. Things that could kind of last throughout the winter season. Some people actually like to put up wreaths and decorations for every holiday. I find that that's probably like a little too much for me to keep up with. So I'm not one of those people that will put up like a wreath for Valentine's and a wreath for St. Patrick's and a wreath for Easter and a wreath for this. I kind of tend to be a little bit more seasonal with my decor. So I will do usually something for spring, summer, fall, and winter. So this is my winter look. I'm trying to figure out what to do until probably spring. So I'm not ready to put out like the flower wreaths yet. I'm not really ready to put out like fresh flowers. That stuff won't survive and won't really live until probably April or May. And so until about April, May-ish, I like to keep up something for the winter. So if you guys are interested to see what I came up with, stay tuned and I'll be right back. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to do was to get a wreath on the door. To me, like, the wreath is the focal point. It's the first thing people see. That if you're driving by the house, you may not see like the doormat and you may not see anything else, but you really kind of see like that wreath just kind of hanging there and adding some color and some dimension and some you know, life to your porch. So I want to start with that. So I am going to show you guys what I did to make this wreath. It's really cute. I know the buffalo plaid is super in this year, and so I did just a little bow with that to kind of tie into my mat. And so I'll show you guys what you need to make this wreath. And then I also did a custom doormat, and so I did paint my own using my tutorial that I created a couple months ago. I've used this a couple times now for Christmas gifts and just to customize my own doormats, and so I'll link that in the description below if you guys would like to kind of follow along and see how to make a custom doormat. And I also show you how to make the buffalo plaid underlayment to the little under mat. And so I show you how to do both in my tutorial that I'll link. And then the other thing I did for the porch was just to add some a juniper tree. I really wanted to make a winter porch pot, and so if you guys have seen those, they are so pretty, and I'll put some pictures up here for you. But I had the hardest time finding the right greenery for it because I waited too long. Winter porch pots are something that you really have to start in December when they have all of those Christmas greenery trimmings out. And so you really kind of need a mixture of like spruce and fir, and I think maybe cedar or white pine. There's like different kinds that you can get from your local nursery, and they're usually cuttings that you can get for free. So unfortunately I waited too long, and so I went to my local nursery and I went to Lowe's as well just to see what they had, and they have nothing. Lowe's is like empty except for some hardy juniper trees, which I did pick up one. If you ever do want to make a winter porch pot, I think I will do a tutorial on it next year when I get myself together and do it sooner and not mid-January when all the Christmas stuff's gone. And they do last for a month or so, month and a half or two. And so if I had done one in December, then it would still be alive now. So, but that's okay. We move on. I'm gonna let it go, and we're just gonna go with this juniper tree, and I just put a lantern out here. So let's start with the wreath tutorial because that's what I have for you today, and then I'll just kind of show you the after picture, the after video of what we ended up with. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do so, and you can hit the notification bell to make sure you're alerted every time I upload a video, and then I will go ahead and start the tutorial now for the wreath. So let's talk materials. The first thing you'll need is a grapevine wreath. And so you can use any wreath base that you like, but I happen to like the grapevine look, and so I purchased this one from Michael's for $4.99. This is a 14-inch wreath, and it's just a good size for my door. And I have used this before. Actually, you can use these several times over. I've kind of glued some stuff to it for a fall wreath, and then I just kind of ripped the flowers off and repurposed it for this winter wreath. The next thing I'll need are some Christmas picks. I actually was fortunate enough to pick these up from Michael's on their post-holiday sale. I got these that have just sort of like the flocked pine branches on them, some pine cones. Usually these are $10 a piece. And then I got 2 more actually that have jingle bells on them and some cotton, which I think is so cute. The jingle bells are gonna have to go because I don't want them to be ringing every time someone opens my door, but I thought these were kind of cute and just to give a little bit of variety with the greenery. And so it's not just the flocked pine, it's also this type of, whatever this type of greenery is too. These were $4 a piece full price, but because I got these on an after Christmas sale, I think 80% off, I got all of these picks for about $7, maybe $7.50, but normally these would have been $38. If you're looking for these are a little bit harder to find on Amazon. You can find them by searching for like Christmas picks or flocked Christmas picks or just kind of like Christmas greenery, that kind of thing. You should be able to find some of this kind of stuff if you search hard enough. Or if you can find it, of course, at Michael's on the holiday sales. And the last thing you'll need is a bow of some sort. I happen to like the buffalo plaid black and white check bow this year. This kind of theme has been very in, so I just wanted to tie this in also to my buffalo plaid doormat, like layered doormat that I made. And so I went ahead and just picked this up at Michael's. It's normally $15, but I did get this again on a post-Christmas sale for 80% off, and so that brought the cost down quite a bit. I think it was just $3. But you can actually buy these on Amazon. There's a link below for a bow that's I think it's $6.99 on Amazon. So this one's not too bad. And the last thing you'll need are some tools like floral wire and some wire cutters. So I just have some really cheap floral wire. Of course, you can pick this up at Michael's, on Amazon as well, or I think maybe even Dollar Tree has this. And then I just use some little small jewelry pliers that have some wire cutters in them to be able to wrap the wire and cut it. The first thing I'm going to do is to get all the wrapping off of the items. And so I took the red card off the bow and just the little pieces that hold the bow up. There's like little plastic pieces inside. Took those off and just going to go ahead and take off like these little tags here. Make sure all the stickers are off, and then I am also going to cut the jingle bells off because again, this sound would drive me nuts if anybody was like opening my door repeatedly and hearing this. So I'm just going to kind of take my jewelry pliers and get in there. You might be able to rip them off, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut them. Now it's the fun part. It's actually time to arrange. So I'm going to take my wreath and figure out which orientation I like the best. This one looks like it's a little bit more oval, and so actually, you know, you could do it to where it's oval kind of to the side or oval to the top. I'm thinking that I kind of like the up and down, just kind of portrait mode, so I'm going to go with that. And this actually does get quite dirty, as you can see. It kind of sheds, so little branches everywhere. So I'm going to take this, and this is kind of just where the creative part comes in, just kind of finding out where you want everything to kind of fall. We've got some stray branches over here actually, so I think I'm going to rotate this and maybe just cover up some of these little stragglers with my Christmas picks. And so I can usually take these, and they have some really stiff wire in them, and so you can just kind of bend these to fit the shape of your wreath. And I think I like the look of when it is like sort of halfway around. So I'll just kind of lay it out and kind of show you what I mean. I've kind of already started bending some of these just to sort of fit the shape of the wreath before we tie it down. And I think I'm going to do something like this. I would like to have this so that it bends like this, and then there will be, we'll have to tie, of course, the ends down, but then there would be the bow in the middle here. The bow would go here, and then you would be able to kind of fill in some of the gaps with your cotton pieces, or you can lay them on top. So I'm just going to lay down the base of our greenery with this, and then we will see what it looks like and where we want to put our cotton. And what you do is just take your floral wire and unwrap a nice long piece, and then use your wire cutters to cut it. And we're going to take and just secure the base first. And so kind of find a good place to secure your base, and I would say this is probably where you would want to secure. So take that, and then you can just kind of take the floral wire and just sort of thread it through. It's probably a little bit hard to see, but just kind of thread it through some of the branches, and then take the ends up and wrap them pretty tightly. And you can wrap it back around if you'd like, or you can just kind of make a twist tie with it. I tend to kind of wrap it around to the back, and so I will do that now. Kind of wrap it just to the back, And then that's kind of the first step. And then you'll use a lot of this. So again, you can keep cutting pieces, or you can cut yourself a few to keep on hand. And so I've got that piece up, and now I want to secure the actual stem of the piece. And so I'll secure the stem down here, and I think I'll use a twist tie kind of a method for this one. And so if you just take and twist it around as if you would tie a bread tie, you can secure the ends that way too. And just so it stays. And then once it's nice and tight, you can lay it flat along the other parts of the branches. And then I am going to bend a little bit of the top and secure that as well with some more floral wire. And really you can cut smaller pieces for some of these things where you're just going to kind of secure it to the top of the wreath, and cut bigger pieces for the times like this where you want to like wrap the whole stem around the whole thing. So you might not need the same length of wire for everything. Okay, so I'm going to kind of secure this top branch, which kind of seems to be loose. I'm going to take that guy down, and I'm just going to wrap him. And I don't want to wrap it around like the front of the leaves because I don't want the floral wire to be visible. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of lift up some of those pine needles, and first I'll insert my wire underneath a branch or two just to kind of get the top, and then I'm really just going to secure it underneath some of these top pine needles. I don't really want to, like I said, just go right over top of it so that you can kind of see the wire. So we will take this and we will just kind of find our end. This is a little bit tricky, just trying to find the end of the wire, and then, you know, kind of peeling back some of those layers, and then go ahead and connect your wire. And so it's kind of hidden and tucked back, and we've got our first little pine branch secured to the wreath base. And if you wanted to, you could even secure it more, but I don't mind it kind of sticking up and looking a little bit more natural. Okay, so that's number one, and then we would repeat the steps with the second one. I'll just lay that on top. It does kind of hide some of the pine cones, so you can sort of manipulate it to show some of those cones underneath and sort of nestle it in. And then I've cut myself a few pieces of floral wire, so I'm going to go ahead and start again just with securing the base. And so again, just doing the same process with the third branch. And this is kind of where the creative part comes in. Just kind of figure out where you want it to fall and how you like it to look. So I think I will do these tight against each other and do that because it's not a huge wreath, and so I think we're running out of wreath runway. So I'm going to go ahead again, just same concept, and now that I've got my Christmas pick kind of bent to the shape of the wreath already, just kind of stick it through some of the grapevine if I can, kind of stick it through to secure it, and I will secure the stem first. So now we have a really pretty pine cone and Christmas flocked wreath, but I do want to add in my other picks, and so I want to kind of place the bow first, and then I'll set these somewhere else. So taking a look at this wreath and trying to figure out what I think where I think this should go. To me, it seems like maybe this would be a good fit right in here, and I don't know what I'll do with the ends yet. I don't think I like them being like super long like this. I think I might curl them up. It's got a kind of, it came curled, and the wire ends certainly will curl. So I think I might just curl them up and kind of tuck them back. But this actually comes already with a wire twist tie, and that is handy. It's nice and long, so I can kind of just take and nestle my bow in there and take the twist ties, flip it over and secure it. So that is how it's looking now. And so then it's cute. I like it so far. I think it just needs that one last detail of adding these picks in for the cotton, and I think I'll do that probably here on top, right on top of the bow, just like that. I think that's really cute. And then I'll add the other pick somewhere down beneath. This is the hard part. It's just kind of finagling where you think it's going to look best and where it'll fit best. And we do need to still secure it with the wire. It feels like
It is sticking underneath the bow, but I don't want it to go anywhere, especially from, you know, if your door gets frequent use and visitors, and you wouldn't want it to fall off. So I'm just going to take and secure the ends of each of these cotton picks. And there you have it. It is done. I'm just kind of holding my camera free now. It's hard to see, but it looks super cute. It turned out really adorable and I love it. I just kind of fluffed out the bow a little bit more. So I will go ahead and show you guys now what this looks like on the door once we finish with our porch renovation. So that is it, guys. As you can see, simple. You know, I don't like to go too far overboard. I'm really kind of minimalistic in my style, so I really don't like to look too cluttered. I think I might do more next year, but I think this is good enough for now, and I think it turned out really cute, and certainly an improvement over the sadness that was the bare porch before I started. So if you like this video, please hit thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time for the next tutorial. Bye, guys.